Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are looking at the worker bug for the arachnids. Now, this is the final arachnid entry that we have. After this, we get into the skinnies and we go from there. Uh, so let's kind of get into and see what we have listed for the worker bug here from the fandom. So the worker bugs, or simply workers, perform the manual labor for the arachnid colonies, including digging and maintaining tunnels. They are semi-defenseless and typically flee at the first sight of danger unless escape is impossible. Physically similar to the warriors, this similarity initially confused the mobile infantry who struggled to distinguish the two. Unlike the warriors, though, workers possess a non aggressive mentality, much like the ant colonies. So, in the novel series, during the invasion of Planet P, a large mass of workers were used as decoys for the mobile infantry, while the warriors prepared a greater trap. The workers used in this did not fight, even when they were almost stepped on by a few panicked troopers. All right, in the film universe, for the invasion mobile infantry, worker bugs marked with blue to indicate their role, built tunnels and support the queen bug, but will not engage in combat when necessary. In large numbers, they will attempt to kill troopers and are particularly aggressive when deployed in pairs of two or four. During the Second Bug War at the Battle of Fort Casey, workers tunneled bug holes to move warrior bugs, royal warriors, chaser bugs, and plasma grenadier bugs into combat. When warriors were needed for other crucial missions, workers would engage in combat to prevent troopers from reaching their hive. The workers were also observed guarding the super tank bug. So there we have it. Like I said, this is the final entry for the arachnid army itself, but nonetheless, they're important. They're the ones that get everything going, so all the other ones can do their said job to support the hive. All right, so getting some good look at everything we see in the video game that's listed here. I don't know the game offhand as they go through everything. Mobile infantry, I think this is the game itself. So worker, and I think that's what the experience is. But 0.65, soldier is a 1, spitter is a 1, heavy is a 1.25, and a super tank for varying size is a times 2 as they're trying to come up with more things here. Uh, it's interesting. I haven't played any of the games. I know I've watched the movies, as well as the old animated show that they had done years ago, but that's been quite a while. So, getting into the skinnies and seeing what they have, that's going to be more from that animated series. I do understand that because we had looked that up together. But honestly, I don't really remember them. Now, I'm not going to say I watched the entire series of the old cartoon, and it was a 3D CGI, very dated at this point, but still, nonetheless, it was a 3D CGI as I remember it. Um, but we'll get into all that here coming up, and there's a couple entries to go into that, and we'll go from there. All right, let's get into our D6 stats and see what we have for our worker bug. All right, so looking at the worker bug itself, has a dexterity of 2D. So our galactic standard, its perception is a 1D plus 1, so it is below our galactic standard. Structural repair is a 3D plus 2. Has a strength of 2D plus 2, so again, a little bit above galactic standard, and its orderness is at a 2D. Does have a move of 17, the same as the warrior bugs, still going almost twice as fast as a standard galactic being is going to move, and has a size of 2 to 3 meters long. Has claws, which give it a attack of strength plus 1d plus 1. Putting that all together would be about a 3d plus 3. Natural armor, again, is going to be a strength plus 1d to resist damage, so that would be a 3D plus 2, however you roll on that. And usually, whenever I'm doing this stuff, and I'm just going to throw it out here, I always like to just roll once, and I will just copy and paste that for all of them, even for that day usually, and just say they're all having a bad day or a good day or whatever it is. I like having just a set number I can just automatically subtract and go from there. Um, but that's me. Everyone likes to do it differently, and you do it what works for you, and that's not a problem. Um, let's see, we do have blind sight out to 14 meters, and we also have wall crawl. Now, we've kind of covered all that with the warrior bug and all that, so I don't think we really need to kind of cover that. You know, they can see out, whether it's just by feeling motion or whatever else have you, um, out to 14 meters. Wall crawl, they can crawl on the walls and the ceiling and all that, and we just kind of go from there. All right, so the description that we have is worker bugs are physically indistinguishable from the warrior bugs, aside from a very slight difference in the thorax, chitin, and mandible arrangements. Spotting this difference requires a knowledge of alien species check with a difficulty of 20 at 20 meters. By their nature, warrior bugs are entirely non combatant. They are capable of dealing injury, but only do so if they cannot flee an opponent are literally forced to defend themselves. Even then, the workers will only fight if there is not a warrior bug within 40 meters of it. Otherwise, the worker bug will passively take an attack thrown or take any attack thrown at them, um, on the assumption that the warrior bug will step in and defend it. So it's always looking for a bigger brother to take care of it. All right, and this comes to us from the Starship Troopers role playing game source book page 216 and the Demon Apostle. Now, shorter read, Last of the Bugs. We'll see what we have for the next group, and we'll go from there. As always, it's wonderful having you here. Hope you're doing well. I will see you in the next video.